Dusty Baker and the Nats coming into town. Was it a mistake to let Dusty go? Was his experiences as a manager of the Reds have them in a better position now than they were back then, I guess? I'll open up to you, Josh.
I don't know how much better of a position they would have been in if, the same circumstance happened. But, and I wrote it at the time, I thought it was flawed logic to think Dusty Baker was the problem in 2013.
Right.
The guys, look at what he's done in Washington. He's won everywhere he's gone.
Everywhere.
He's well respected. People are always going to complain about because he kind of invites it on.
Right.
Himself, more sabermetric stuff. He kind of is seen as an analytics guy, which isn't quite true. But when you criticize him, he gets his back up and says it. I love Dusty. He was the best manager I ever dealt with. He's everyone who's ever covered him likes him. He has more friends than anyone I've ever met in my life. I mean, every day when we were in the clubhouse waiting to go in, the visiting clubhouse, or his office to talk to him before the game, there'd be 6 or 8 people there waiting to talk to Dusty. Everywhere we went, literally. A very generous guy. He'd pay $40,000 a year in taxes, giving away tickets. And if someone in the restaurant walked up to him, he'd give them tickets. He's a great guy. But back to the original point, it wasn't his fault. It's hard to imagine. It's impossible to say, if he had stayed, what would have happened. Right. I think they would have still had to rebuild at some point.
And he's not a rebuilding type manager.
No, he's a guy who come in when you have big egos, big stars. He handles that very well. But again, I think it was a mistake.
When every player says that they love playing for this guy and will go to war for him, that's who you want as your skipper and your leader. And, at the end of that run, half the people were saying, get rid of him, he's a bum, we don't have 8 world championships. And the other half were like, this guy, if all the players are going for this guy, why shouldn't I buy on board? And I went back and forth for that, but, you look back right now and you got to say, we all miss Dusty.
I guess it's with Dusty, it's always he gets you right up to the altar, but he never puts that ring on it. So it's just one of those things. I think people, you love them until you realize that you're so close that you can't get there, and then you get frustrated, and then you just want to move on. And I guess
with the Cubbies, that was right there with all that too. Yeah.
Right.